Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me make sure if you guys can see the chat, go ahead and post in the chat just so I know you guys are in here. But otherwise, guys, super excited about this live stream. Super excited about this opportunity here with OddsJam. You guys have seen Alex in the past. TJ, as always, with me. Guys, we're just trying to beat the books. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing out here. We decided to combine efforts because it literally doesn't matter what kind of tool you're using. We both offer plus EV betting tools across the board. You guys are quite aware with ours. If you guys have been to our live streams, and Alex talks about his all the time. With our new fantasy optimizer, we can identify value across the board for all these DFS sites. As you guys can see across the board for all, you know, we go from prize picks to underdog, no house advantage, and all of these DFS apps have promos like all the time. So today we were taking advantage of the no house advantage. If you guys haven't signed up for any of these sites, make sure to do so. Use code DGF, use code OddsJam. It does not matter, but make sure you're taking advantage of these daily promos. It is the most important thing to do that because you can make literally over $1,000 a week if you just take advantage of the promos. From the tacos, underdog fantasy free squares. We have the no house advantage, which you can, you know, use up to, what is it, TJ? Did you get limited to 10 entries per promo now? Because they're so good.
Yes, but it is what it is.
Parlay play, slide the line. Oh, Alex, great talking point. Did you know on No House Advantage that they don't care about correlation? You can pair pitchers against batters on opposing teams.
I didn't know that, but that
we figured it out today.
Yeah,
wild.
Oh,
like,
Matt,
we'll see how long that lasts, but
ironically, we stacked Dodgers versus whoever they were playing, and Dustin May left the game in the first inning. So
that's how it goes naturally.
Yeah, naturally. No,
Regardless, let's go ahead and just like go through all the value on these sites. Alex, I don't know if you want to start on prize picks, if you want to go to underdog fantasy. I guess the people want prize picks as always, so we can start there.
Your screen, let's do prize picks.
So very first one here, I already played this play, but Gabe Vincent is popping up on the top of our optimizer at 4 assists, like as you can see across the board, near even line, and even on underdog. So, you know, looking at a direct DFS and DFS comparison usually is, you know, a good process. As you can see, prize picks themselves set their line to 4.5 or 4, and the sportsbook line is set to 3.5. So my exact entry started out with Gabe Vincent. Great, you know, underplay there because again, all these books are offering that near even line.
Do you want me to share your screen?
Oh, you can't see it.
No, there, I got it.
Oh, there we go. Gotcha.
My bad.
Yeah, sorry. Gabe Vincent at 4, set to the near even line. 3.5 is the near even line across the board with all these sites. You're getting a 0.5 higher line set on prize picks. So this is a great underplay if you're playing any play tonight. I know TJ really likes this play because of his Boston Celtics.
Yes, sir.
Another play that include these League of Legends plays. We don't talk about it much on OddsJam, but on DGF, we actually just got these recently added. Direct comparisons from DFS app to DFS app. And specifically for esports plays, okay? I just want to educate the people watching this for the very first time. Kills are not easy to come by. You might as well just think of this like assists, right? For NBA, 6.5, 7.5 assists. Like that's a huge discrepancy from one assist to another. If you see a 6.5 discrepancy, or if you see a 6.5 and a 7.5 on underdog and prize picks, you're taking that middle every time, right? Like statistically speaking, that makes sense. And the same thing applies here for League of Legends plays. The really good thing is that JDG, this team right here, happens to be playing against T1. Positive correlated plays. I talked about this actually on Twitter. Over map kills, right, for one team, but under for the other because they're playing each other. So there's positive correlation there. Another middling opportunity. Like if you play this on prize picks, turn around and play the opposite on underdog. There was I posted a thing yesterday. 14% of the time, these two apps end up in the middle on esports, which is freaking insane. Like you don't get that on any other market. Not any that I'm aware of here. So huge opportunity here with esports. Start out with Gabe Vincent. Pair these two positive correlated League of Legends plays. Watch the market adjust because right now they're not adjusting on either app. And then, of course, fantasy scores we always talk about. This is another good one. I wouldn't pair this with, I guess, is that positive correlation? Pairing another under fantasy score with under assists? I guess that would be, right?
I have no idea. But
if he's dishing assists.
Yeah, no, that makes
Can you
sense.
zoom in a bit? Can everyone see, or is this?
I think that's easy to see.
Okay.
It's pretty big, at least on my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so these other fantasy scores on the board. One thing we do on our optimizer is that we add up all these even lines into a fantasy algorithm, right? We know that PrizePicks has it, Underdog has it. This near even line goes into a fantasy score calculator, pops out the projection. I can actually show you guys the projection here on another link. So, like, if these books were to price these fantasy scores across the board,
I like that. That's nice.
Kyle Lowry would be set to 22.6, right? That would be his projection. But on PrizePicks, set to 24.5. So if you think about that from a PRA perspective, you're getting like a 2 PRA discount. I know fantasy score is not the same as PRA, but it gives us some kind of context here. Also, LeBron James. I'm sorry, Alex, but it looks like it's a little bit, too aggressive there on PrizePicks. So just a heads up. Anyway. I don't think it's quite plus EV because it's teetering on that line. Yeah, we're giving it a 54.3% chance. But what we're doing is we're adding those near even lines together. It looks like it's a little bit too aggressive there on PrizePicks. So again, great context here. If I were putting together, I've already put this slip together. Vincent under 4 assists, 369. That's his name somehow. His gamer tag over map kills, 6.5. Under on owner, under on Arenado, and under on Kyle Lowry. That would be my 5-man slip. Again, I think I entered that exact slip, so I'm not going to do it again. But that's my first slip, and I think there's a very good advantage there.
Yeah, I love that, Matt.
You watch the esports you bet on?
Occasionally, if I ever have time.
Really? Where do you watch it?
Well, you actually, if you go to PrizePicks, they actually have a Twitch chat. There a Twitch link that pops up here.
No
right?
way.
Usually pops up, like right around here, and you can click on it.
Oh, it's just streamed on Twitch. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So I understand we'll be adding some esports to the fantasy optimizer on OddsJam soon, so that you guys should be seeing that too. But yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity, I think, for esports. The one thing about esports is that the market, it has just not adjusted yet, like at all. Like it's just on these DFS apps. So like you don't have these sharp bettors running and comparing lines because the market just isn't available. There's no data there. So that's a really good thing to take advantage of, in my opinion, right now.
A lot of middles.
Ton of middles.
Ton of them.
Yeah.
Gotta love betting where there's opportunity. That's it. I think Pinnacle has esports odds. Gotta figure
they do for major tournaments, but not for like the smaller ones. Like I don't know what constitutes a major tournament or not, but
yeah, it's flaky.
Well, I've tailed some of your slips. I don't particularly know what I'm betting on, but
but that's the beauty of it. You don't have to know, right? Like that's
yeah, exactly. That's the nice part about it. Still never done a fantasy score, maybe someday. But okay. First slip put together.
Boom. Simple as that.
Now, TJ, do you want to move on to Underdog? Because we also have, I believe, if there's still some fantasy scores up there.
Scores? Yeah, I just want to touch base on that slip you made, Matt, real quick. Sure. Obviously, the correlation there with 369 and owner playing JDG and T1, which is obviously a great thing to see. Love that Gabe Vincent play the under 4 assists. The sportsbook line set to 3.5 with juice on the under, so that's a very good play as well. I also played Kyle Lowry, so I had 4 of those 5. The only thing that I did is I took Josh Fleming under pitcher strikeouts because I had already made a slip with Nolan Arenado, Cedric Mullins, and Lewis Roberts, so I didn't want to overexpose to those 3 guys. So skip down to Josh Fleming. Feel really good about that slip.
And Fleming is down here at 3. Yep, that just popped up. So yeah, you're getting that 0.5 more aggressive line. So yeah, exactly. I like that.
Exactly. What else do we have? Underdog, is that what you said you want to touch base on next?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we got on Underdog.
Now, we just recently added Underdog Fantasy to, or at least MLB Fantasy scores to our optimizer as well. So one thing I did notice is that, right, you have this fantasy score market. All of these fantasy score markets are priced differently because they have different algorithms. They have different calculations that go into it. I have noticed that Underdog, even though they're slightly different, their fantasy scores are very aggressive. And like, this is such a casual, if you look at this, the casual bettor is not going to take the under on somebody like Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge historically is known for hitting home runs left and right.
But for cheating too, right?
And he's caught for cheating. So
wild.
that's one comment that TJ said earlier on our live stream. So right now, like his fantasy score is set to 10.5, and we're saying that is far too aggressive. So if we go to his raw fantasy score here, based on the books, this thing should really be set to 8.7. So like that, there's a huge discrepancy here on DraftKings at least. So another sharp bet, right? I know there isn't too many plays here. It looks like they're all below 55%. So as we know, if you're playing underdog, the best slip type is to play 3-man non-insured, at least right now. I do have a feeling they're going to have to catch up with the rest of the market, the DFS market here, because everybody's shifting their payouts. But as of right now, 3-man non-insured slip is the best. This would be slate plus EV if you were to play Aaron Judge under fantasy score set to 10.5, Garrett Cole under 7, and Alex Bregman under fantasy score as well. Looks like it's a little bit aggressive. I believe you took this earlier, TJ, though, right?
Yeah, so I think the crazy – well, no, Aaron Judge was one that a lot of people were pinging early in the Discord. And I think it's really funny to see, Matt, as soon as we add hitter fantasy scores to the underdog optimizer, Aaron Judge actually was put on the board at 11.5. It was pinged in the DGF Discord. So a lot of people started taking his under over there. And we saw the books obviously recognize that slight mistake and bump him down from 11.5. They actually bumped him down to 11 and then again to 10.5. So obviously adjusting to the money coming in there. I just thought that was really interesting to see.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that like the sports books drive the market, which is freaking crazy. So again, even with the fantasy scores, which is like why we're trying to reinvent the wheel here, bringing in more markets across the board and just, you know, identifying that value. So that's the main thing. But on underdog, that's newly added. I guess I'm switching over to OddsJam. So Alex, do you see anything you like for underdog or prize picks? Maybe on the plus EV tool?
We get the show line differences. Sometimes there's more plays. It's obviously a new thing for us. Looks like maybe a couple, but yeah, maybe a few plays, but currently I can't bet. I'm in Vegas, so can't bet. But I'm a fan of Derek White turnovers. I mean, it looks like there's 3 plays right there. So, you know, we're going to continue to work on that feature. I mean, we've thought about like correlation. There's a ton of different things you can do to help find good plays. But for now, you know, we're going to really be working on this line difference thing. What if books have a line at 6.5 versus 5.5? Because obviously FanDuel has a lot of their alternate lines. So you can kind of like look at it as a price point if you open up FanDuel, which is obviously perfect.
Yeah, and they have a ton of data too. So like historical data to show like for individual player prop for an individual market. That's one thing we've looked at. But yeah, I mean that's going to be huge once we nail that down.
Sure. Matt, there's a lot of good value right now over on Parlay Play.
On Parlay, let's switch over.
A lot of good value over on Parlay Play.
I like this platform.
Me too. Parlay Play is definitely my favorite app. If I'm missing out value on prize picks or underdog, because we know how quick those two DFS apps are to adjusting their lines, Parlay Play definitely lags behind a little bit. So if you ever find a spot where you miss out on a play on prize picks or underdog, first DFS app I always go to after is Parlay Play.
Yeah, they are slower. It just goes to show like volume kind of drives these lines, right? So like prize picks, and I don't know how Parlay Play adjusts their lines, but I do know that whatever they're doing is very similar to prize picks. So like we'll see the exact same type of plays pop up on prize picks. And speaking to your point, like they always lag behind in terms of the bumps. So I completely agree with you. Like fantastic platform. What's the payouts now? I get it mixed up. So Parlay Play for, is it 6-man that are the best, Alex?
25x, 2.5x, and then 0.5x. So it's all slightly higher than – it's just slightly higher than prize picks. And, yeah, I mean, I think they're a lot slower, right? Like players get injured, lineups change, whatever. Them and Jock Market are always the laggards. So obviously been betting a lot on them. I'm trying to make some money. So prize picks is a little harder than Parlay Play at least.
For sure.
But also Parlay Play has better payouts, so it's not really a fair comparison. So it's always seemingly easier to find EV plays. It's just a less popular platform. So they give you slightly better payouts, right?
Yeah, no, and our community, our personal community loves Parlay Play. They're fantastic. So like in
Parlay
what's
Play.
that? Oh, Parlay Play.
Kind of dope name. I hate their logo.
I was gonna say I saw you were making fun of their logo in another video before. So.
Yeah, it's stupid logo, but it's a cool name. right? You got daily grind,
like it is.
parlay play. I mean, it's not really a comparison, but yeah.
TJ, if you were to put together a slip right now, let's put together a 6-man.
Matt, it's pretty simple. It's just pulling those top 5. I actually just entered a slip. I hadn't used my slide the line play yet, so I just did it. I actually think I'm limited now because I just tried to enter a second slip using those 5 without the slide the line play, and it said I already maxed out my Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo play. But regardless, I'd be entering a 5-man here, Matt. 12 times payout over on parlay play for a 5-man insured slip. Drew Smiley over 3.5 strikeouts. Gabe Vincent under 4 player assists. Bam Adebayo under 9.5 rebounds. Kyle Lowry under 4.5 assists. And then Garrett Cole under 7 strikeouts. I guess my question to you guys would be, would you be comfortable playing both Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry under assists in the same slip?
No, I wouldn't do it. Why bother? I wouldn't take 2 Heat players. I mean, I don't know the exact correlation. Like, you probably look at FanDuel and see how big of a deal it is, or just play with these little same game parlays. But in general, I just,
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I guess in this instance, then, if you're not going to play, I'd obviously play Gabe Vincent over Kyle Lowry. Gabe Vincent right now, 56.6% fair odds percentage to hit. Kyle Lowry only a 55.5. So I would always opt for the higher percent to hit. So if you're substituting Kyle Lowry there in the slip, I would for sure go to, as much as it pains me to say, Jason Tatum under 29.5.
Yeah.
Why does that?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a Celtics guy, Alex. So I'm hoping for that Celtics Lakers finals.
Heat and 4.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Nuggets in 3, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I think the Celtics are like a near even line now to win the whole thing, right? Something like that.
Right, and rightfully so. I mean,
slight plus money.
Yeah, after that great series with the 76ers.
They survived. That's all that matters. They survived. It was not pretty, though. It wasn't pretty.
Honestly, I was pretty annoyed because I was like, I hate working out. So it was halftime of the game. I'm like, good game. Like, maybe get a workout in. Like, this sounds great. Run on the treadmill. I get there and it's like a 20-point lead. So I just turned around, went straight to my room, had a glass of wine instead. It was chill.
There you go. Made my Mother's Day stress-free, so that was nice.
There we go. Yeah, it did. Oh, yeah, it was Mother's Day.
Yeah. My mom didn't have to watch me just scream at the television all afternoon.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm very happy for your Celtics. I'm again, Alex
Matt,
is here, so
do we want to touch base on your Spurs real quick?
Yeah, I am a Spurs fan, Alex. So I don't know if you were paying attention last night, but Victor Wembanyama is the top NBA prospect now going to my San Antonio Spurs. So I couldn't be more happy about that.
Congrats.
Yeah, they're saying I feel like they say this about any superstar. They said this about Zion Williamson. Like he's the best prospect. He's a top NBA prospect in NBA history, other than LeBron James or something. I feel like they said that last time too. So just the hype right now. But 7'1" can obviously do everything. Super excited.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
That's the main thing. Yep.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
Don't pull a Joel Embiid, that's for sure. All right. So another thing about this, I wanted to touch base on the positive correlation or negative correlation with Miami. Another thing about Vincent and Lowry, one thing to consider is they both play the same position too. So like taking under assists for 2 point guards on the same team probably doesn't make sense. Just wanted to throw that out there. Like, sure, it's one thing to take 2 unders from the same team, but these two are literally interchangeable between the position. So if like one player is doing well, obviously he's going to stay on the floor more than the other one. So taking both unders, it doesn't make sense there. If one was an over, one was an under, maybe.
Right. Agree.
That's my thought process there too.
Agreed.
I agree.
All right. Do we want to talk about jock market since we were touching base there?
There's definitely interesting things you could probably do with which maybe we can talk about at some point, but just point guard assists, center points. But for now, whatever. Jock market I love this platform.
Yeah, I have your fantasy tool up here, Fantasy Optimizer, and you guys have a lot, like a shit ton of props here to cover. So I can go down the list here with using your Fantasy Optimizer. This is based on what, a 5-man, I think they call it, what do they call it? A mortal lock or partial lock? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, you want the partial lock, not the mortal lock. Never mortal lock.
The partial
lock is 15 times. Freaking horrible. For a 5-picker, underdog's 20. Right.
Yeah.
No house advantage during their promo is 30. and they're just
Well.
casually 15. So it's horrible. So always, and it's a little confusing. So you got to like make sure every time you like switch it to the partial lock because it's confusing. Like I've had to like cash them out a few times because I always forget.
Wait, you have to do what? You have to cash them out?
Or like they have a refund option. Like I don't know if you remember when Prize Picks they had 5-man power plays, which were just a 10x payout. And
Right.
you'd like accidentally hit the button and then you'd be like, wait, what? No. And then you'd have to like cancel it and do it again.
Gotcha.
Jock Market, literally it's 5-minute cancel, just like Prize Picks. I mean, the platform literally ripped everything about Prize Picks. It's perfect.
Yeah. I that's one thing I hate about these other apps is like I can't turn around and cancel. I can't tell you how many times me and TJ have entered the slip on. I'm like, no house advantage. Yeah, you did it on stream today. You just can't go backwards.
When you're going so quick and you know everything's gonna get yanked right in front of your face, you gotta try to go fast and you make one error and you're toast.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some cookies, but I agree with you.
DJ, I'm looking at their fantasy screen here. A lot of Boston Celtics overs. One of them being turnovers here with Derek White. So over Jason Tatum on his rebounds, 9.5. Don't know if you like that. That's a 55.2% chance.
I love that.
Yeah, he's been
There's, I mean, like the really good thing here is like all these books agree with the value too. Like there's no outlier book. The lowest is -140, going up to FanDuel at -144. So great value there to start a slip.
Pretty consistent.
So like
I like Derek White too. I like Derek White turnovers.
Yeah, this would be great to pair together too. We talked about positive negative correlation, right? Jason Tatum over rebounds, under PRA for Robert Williams, right? Taking rebounds from Robert Williams, TJ.
Yep.
I can get behind that.
Agree. I can get behind that for sure.
That's fantastic. One thing that you guys have on your fantasy optimizer, which is really cool, you can build a slip literally on the left side, and it shows you if the entire slip is positive EV, which is freaking insane, freaking awesome. So just something to play around with. Like if you're playing a 5-man slip, like one thing we don't talk about enough is like all these people, at least we have ingrained it in our community's brains to always take over a certain percentage, right? But the overall thing that we're looking at is the average leg percentage because that's what determines plus EV. So technically you could get away with playing these top 3 plays, right? And then maybe, fish around here in the yellows. Just saying it still would be technically plus EV. I like to give myself personally a cushion in case these lines move or whatnot. But that's something that's not talked about enough, which is why this is a great, thing to have on the left side of your parlay builder. That's one thing I really like about your tool.
Yeah. In general, I mean, I also see like sometimes when I'm just up late, I mean, they post pretty early, and sometimes when they first post, they can screw up a lot of lines. Prize Picks was like that, but they've gotten a little better. Underdog gotten a little better, but I'd say Jock Market, like when they first post lines too, it's like a feast. But I mean, obviously there's still a lot of plays now, but sometimes you can get even higher percentages because what's crazy is because these are 5 pickers, like increasing your win rate from 56 to 57, it doesn't increase like your ROI on these platforms by 1% because you're getting a 1% higher win rate. But if you can find like the 57% ones, I mean, your ROI on any of these platforms is going to be pretty insane.
So that's actually a good question because I'm always curious. You're on West Coast time. So do you literally wait till like the middle of the night to take some of these lines? Because I have a kid now. I can't do any of that. I can't even. Yeah, you
ever need a babysitter, let me know. But I take it to the Lakers game. But,
hey, free Lakers tickets.
Yeah. No, but no, I mean sometimes I just like, whatever, like I'll watch an episode of Forensic Files and then I'll flip over and I'll be like, dang, like looks like Jock Market just dropped lines, and then usually there's some value. I mean, the issue is I couldn't figure out how to get money in for a while. Then I figured it out. Like some of these platforms are just hot streak I've been trying to get money into. It's like your driver's license doesn't match your credit card, whatever. But Jock Market, I've seen them like midnight PST. I've seen a ton of plays, ton of plays.
What time? What time's the best?
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
Jonathan France.
No, but
the guy in the screen.
Is you can like if you play around with, I'll put it in the chat, but if you play around with the Prize Picks 5 flex, like just what your ROI changes to, like it's crazy how much money they make if you think about it off the average person. Like I think a 5 flex, if you hit If you win 50%, lose 50% of your props, so you have no advantage, your ROI is negative 25%. Negative 25%, but then obviously like 55% you're positive, or 54.25% you're break even. So it's crazy how quick it changes and how important it is.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I see that person just posted. I get picket notifications at like 1 a.m. So do you post all your hidden value over on Picket?
well, I mean, Picket. I mean, you can turn on notifications anytime I place a bet and it syncs.
Right. Right.
So you'll get notified at 4 a.m. Keep that phone on, guys. I'm like a little.
This dude never goes to sleep. Never goes to sleep. West Coast time though, that's good because I know a majority of your guys over on East Coast, so you guys are always working.
Yeah. I feel like West Coasters definitely have it easier when it comes to getting value. I mean, I can't confirm or deny it because I'm an East Coast guy, but I feel like the West Coasters do have a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, 100%. When I was in Arizona, when I moved there for a bit, for like 6 months, I mean, I thought like when FanDuel would drop MLB props or DraftKings, like a lot of the early lines, it's when you get the best betting opportunities, right?
Right.
Even huge, like, you know, just huge ARBs, like whatever people are looking for, a lot of it you can find early. Pretty great.
Yeah, agree.
I will say, how many people do we got in here? Is there a way that we can tell?
No.
I don't
you can
think
tell
it says,
YouTube,
yeah.
you can tell. I'm not sure about our Twitter. I have no idea. But
for anybody who's watching, I just kind of want to recap here. We are going to be doing daily live streams for as often as we can. Obviously, we all got individual stuff we're doing, but we're going to be trying to keep this going forward, guys. This is, us versus the books. Obviously, OddsJam and DGF partnership. So if you guys are interested in checking out these YouTube, live streams, feel free to sign up or feel free to subscribe to our YouTube. Alex should be going live on his personal YouTube going forward. Maybe do a little bit of Twitter. But the one thing that we want to talk about the most, if you guys love our tools, if you like what you see on this live stream today, we have a promo code, 30% off all annual subscriptions right now. I swear, like I don't know why Alex did this, but 30% off all annual subscriptions for both sites on OddsJam and DGF. If you enter code, I think it's in the description, Alex. DGF_OddsJam gives you 30% off every single tool on both websites. So, we're coming out with a bang here. Obviously, we're very excited to get things rolling here with these live streams. We just want to show you guys the best value, which is all it comes down to, right? We're just trying to beat the books.
Well, you want to go to Fliff? My new favorite.
Oh yeah,
My new favorite toy.
Honestly, it's the best.
I love live tweeting to my Twitter just every single opportunity. I mean, there's so many live bets where they just don't make sense in the middle of TV timeouts. TJ, I think we've gotten like 8%ers, 10%ers. You guys have so many plus EV plays on yours. It's wild.
Yeah, Matt, I feel like you had a week straight where you would go and during those NBA games, you were live tweeting Fliff plays. And I feel like you hit on a majority of them, which is fantastic. And they were all some really, really good plays.
I think it was the Warriors. I think it was the Warriors Lakers.
It might have been.
I think it was. Yeah. They came back. The Lakers were up by like 6 points. And I just live tweeted the Warriors coming back, money line, minus like 5.5. And I think they ended up winning by like a substantial margin. I'm sorry, Alex. We obviously know how that ended, but they made so much. I made so much money. Our Twitter following.
Oh, the Nuggets game. Yeah, that was some BS. It's okay. I actually feel very good after game one. Oddly.
Oh, I would feel really good after game one too. The Nuggets hit.
Yeah.
Tough contested shots, like late in the shot clock, late in the game, where they were like the Jokic three right before the end of the third quarter. When Anthony Davis was right in his face. Jamal Murray hit a really tough shot with LeBron right in his face. So they were hitting some ridiculous shots.
Yeah.
Alex, real quick. Danny LeClaire said, OddsJam plus EV tool is raking Fliff for my daughter's college fund.
Sounds lit. Tell your good for your daughter. How old is she? 4? Like, no, that's awesome. I've been on a losing streak, so it's kind of been that for me recently. But I started the year pretty hot.
Ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows. Yeah.
I'm reviewing here. You guys got some 13%ers up here, which is just wild. Like you don't see this on any other book. Like not even close.
What 13? Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm going over personally, and I'm placing this.
Holy shit!
You want to use the EV? You want to show the EV tool though?
Sure.
The optimizer. I mean, we're adding in sportsbooks because people ask, but it's just like there's no like settings you can add. Obviously, the EV tool is kind of like the bread and butter. So there's some on FanDuel. Do you have Fliff selected?
I think I already do by default. Yep. Yeah. So it's
it looks like there's some plays. Yeah, baseball has not been my sport this year. It really hasn't. NBA's been great.
NBA, NHL's been really good for me. So as you guys can see, using their positive EV tool, if you look across the board here, like Fliff is just off. Like all these apps have it priced at plus 160. This is over total runs of 11. I mean, guys, it's literally that easy. You look in terms of like getting bang for your buck, plus 175 is substantially better across the market here. So it doesn't make sense to not enter bets like these.
Yeah, that is a really good play, Matt.
Player strikeouts.
JP France.
Yeah, this one was good on PrizePicks as well. Or no, Jock Market, they had their set to 6, which is just wild.
Yeah, I just added that. That was a really good play.
Yeah.
I think we worked. Go ahead.
I'm not sure what the issue is. I was just going to say, like, obviously people love PrizePicks, but got to bet to make money. Parlay play pays out more. I don't understand the problem certain people have with it. Take the $100, right? Take the $100 sign-up bonus at the very least.
I will say, I think people just love the UI for PrizePicks. They just parlay play. That's one thing about their web app. It's just like that scrolling feature. It's like all in that app, right? Still.
Yeah.
I agree with you. What about what?
About just all on their app. Parlay play?
Oh, like their user face on desktop is just horrible.
UI, yeah, it's legitimately just their app on mobile on the website. Yeah, it's tough.
But guys, like this is just enough proof. Like I switched over to the parlay play. Like the market has not adjusted. Like you guys have all the time. We've been talking about these plays the entire stream. Go take advantage of them. Like there's no point on why you should not be taking advantage of all these plays. Parlay play, if you guys want to use code DGF, gives you 100% match up to $100. I mean, guys, the money is sitting right here. As Alex said, it's becoming one of his favorite DFS platforms. There's no reason not to. No reason not to.
Even in terms of plays, like there are some downsides for sure. Like low max betting limits, whatever. You can only use certain players certain many times, whatever. But there's a lot of plays on it. You can use it. It's definitely the easiest to make money off of them in Jock Market. Jock Market, though, they have the same thing. I'm pretty sure they set max betting limits, $500 MLB per day. So, which isn't the end of the world, but PrizePicks doesn't do that, right?
Look, this one's still set to 6.
Yeah, that Jonathan France one is good.
Yeah, that one we just looked at on Fliff was set to 5.5 with plus 105 on the under, right? Yeah, you can get the under here at 6 at what, minus 119 implied odds? Or something like that.
That's incredible.
It's insane.
You mind if I take over, share my screen for a
Yeah.
sec? I wanted to maybe this is a good example. Maybe it's not. We'll see. But let's do entire screen. Yeah, NHA is great too, but who knows? So like, I feel like So this is the EV tool. So here you can see a play on parlay play and no house advantage. It's not available on Underdog, but usually what I feel like happens is if you just click into the line, like you'll notice lines have been moving in that direction. So the sports books have moved this guy, Drew Smiley, over 3.5 Ks from plus 103 to minus 175. So typically it's like, and you can kind of see like, okay, this rip, here 4 hours ago, it still wasn't like, maybe like positive EV yet. But, it's interesting. It's kind of interesting to follow because, again, like this is like, you can look at any sports books you want. Obviously, it's not that you have to look at one specific sports book, but you can see FanDuel, they move from minus 110 to minus 126. So all these books are moving more in favor of the over. Who knows what happened, right? maybe some player for the, he pitched for the Cubs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we're all big baseball fans, so
Love baseball. Alex, ironically, with Drew Smiley, he actually just got bumped on parlay play.
fascinating. But
Yep.
I feel like what happens is okay, whatever, maybe lineups change, the Astros good players are out, or maybe all the sharp action or syndicate, they start hitting the over for whatever reason. It's I say it all the time, but it's like the price of a stock can change for a million reasons. Good economic news, supply and demand, a hedge fund wants position, everything's reflected in the market, which is why you follow price data and you don't look at historical data, because everything's already baked into the market. Doesn't matter if you had 0 strikeouts last game, if you had 15, it's baked into the market. Everyone knows it. If it's public info, everyone knows it. So you'll see a lot of the times it's lines start to rip towards an over, or a player gets injured, right? Or official lineups come out. A lot of times I see good plays on Underdog or Prize Picks when, when you see Underdog tweet the official lineup, whatever, when the starting 5 is announced, because that obviously affects a lot of player props for people like Jordan Poole or,
Right.
whatever. So then I feel like Prize Picks and Underdog are the first to move. They're the smartest out of the bunch. And then you'll notice Parlay Play lags a lot. And it just got bumped. But the market has updated to completely agree that this guy's a lot more likely to go over as opposed to under. They're still asleep at the wheel. Or now I guess it's NHA is asleep at the wheel. Whatever. But it's interesting to see anyways, you can share your screen again. Well, now I see
that was great.
On BAM rebounds. If you want to share, I see some new plays on Parlay Play if you want to go back to it.
Sure.
Alex,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, touch base on what Alex was talking about. Matt, one thing that we would be really vocal on when we would do our NBA live streams is that the best value would always pop up right before lock, right? Because we would see an instance where somebody that's supposed to start maybe comes off the bench, vice versa, and maybe somebody's on a minute limit, etc. Gives the books a chance to update based on that information. And then these DFS apps, like you mentioned, Alex, Prize Picks, Underdog, they might be pretty quick on it, but some of these ones that lag behind, they're not updating as frequently, so you can definitely take advantage. And so right before lock, Matt, I think is, especially when the thick of the NBA season is where we would find our best value.
We said this so many times, and I don't know if you did the strategy, Alex, but we would literally update or refresh our tools in between NBA games when the market wasn't really, it was dead. Nobody's betting. Everybody's already locked in their plays for the day. And then you would get Prize Picks consistently falling asleep at the wheel. You would get, Parlay Play would post 70 percenters at some points, and they'd stay up there for 10 minutes. And it was just nobody was taking advantage of these. It was insane. The best time to take advantage of these plays were in between the games when new lineups would get announced, injuries, but the market wasn't adjusting because nobody cares at that point. Everybody already submitted their plays, which is the best time to do it. Also, I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if you have to give me authority to do that, Alex.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is a lot of of the questions I always get about EV in general is just why should I trust the market? And it's well, the market's always right, because if it weren't, it would have been fucked out of it already, right? It's there's so many day traders, none of them can beat the market long term. That's why there's literally 0 stay-at-home dads who are actually day traders, unless they're just rich dudes who stay at home and now they day trade. There's no way they're profitable long term in beating the market. It just doesn't happen. You see every hedge fund try to beat the S&P 500, beat the market. They can't do it. It's the market knows all. And if that wasn't the case, right? If Drew Smiley's over shouldn't actually be favored, every sharp bettor, anyone with a brain, would take advantage and hit the under, because if his under was actually more likely, it already would be more likely because people would have hammered it until the under was the favorite outcome. But that's why markets are so useful, right? And DGF is such a useful tool because it's based in data. No one who the fuck cares if Alex Ovechkin had 4 shots last game? It's baked into the market. The world knows, every syndicate knows, it's baked into the current price. You have no advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why it's all displayed as a percentage. So many people come back, and tweet us later and are like, yeah, I can't believe you recommended the over when they just hit the under. Obviously, odds have no idea what they're talking about. No, you idiot. It's a percentage. That's how odds work. That's how percentages work. It's not a yes or no. It's not black and white. It's a percentage of whether it's going to hit the over or under. So it's like
explain how Hot Streak works. Some guy just signed up and has some questions. If you know anything about them, I don't know.
Okay. So TJ, you use this a lot. And Alex, I just told you about their new promo. So Hot Streak is actually
attention, so you're gonna have to repeat it.
We're good.
Bro.
We're good. Hot Streak is it's essentially the exact same thing as all these other apps, except it's not these projections. These lines aren't set in stone like all these other pick'em apps, whereas like if you place a bet on a prize pick slip, like you're getting these price points at the exact same projections every single time. The payout never changes. Whereas on Hot Streak, it's very similar to a sports book, whereas like the price always changes, but you have to enter at least 2 legs. TJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but
right.
that's the way it works. So for instance, if we take a look at OddsJam's Fantasy Optimizer here on their screen, Hot Streak is offering Corbin Burns at -102. However, the entire market, as we can see, priced their fair odds is set to is -108.58, and it looks like an average, -129, -135. But the one thing that confuses a lot of people is that Hot Streak displays this as a multiplier, not a line, which is super confusing for a lot of users. -102 in terms of their multiplier or whatever. It's not a great multiplier because -102 is almost a near even line, right? It's almost you put in $1, you get back $1.98. It's like that's how that works.
Good math.
So the only difference is you have to put at least 2 legs into Hot Streak. So generally that's what people do, because who wants to play a 5-leg parlay when you can just do 2 and the payouts are always changing? You can just get more, better opportunity there. So for instance, right now you would just pair the top 2 plays. Like it's just that simple in a 2-leg parlay. Also, their new promo, I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it yet. At least I didn't get the okay yet, but it's live on their app right now. Right. They have new plus EV plays every single hour, which is like a taco, right? A prize picks taco to compare it, but it's only a $10. I think it's a $10 limit at least right now. However, those promos, those lines do change. So like if we have 100 users going to hit the same exact promo, that's going to go away pretty quick. So you have to literally observe the market and take advantage of these promos, which I love. Like that's pretty fun, right? Like if you're looking at all of our tools, if you're looking at OddsJam, you're looking at DGF, you're constantly observing the market and taking advantage of these new promos. Like that is the best way to make money in this market right now. Regardless, I get that it's only $10, but you can still take advantage of other plays, as you can see on the fantasy screen. So, TJ, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think you did. Yeah, I think it's a $10 max right now on their new.
Already adjusted. Look at this, -103.
Yeah. Right, they're gonna adjust.
Is that one of their promos?
Which one was it? The Corbin Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a I handful. I think it's like 10 that they put out at once. $10. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 right now that are plus % in terms of EV. So yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity to take advantage of some soft multipliers. They have some really good ones, Matt, like you just mentioned, that Corbin Burns one looks really, really good. So the one thing I think is pretty interesting when it comes to Hot Streak is they offer injury insurance, which I think is kind of cool. It's like a 5% injury. So if you're putting $100 down, you can buy injury insurance for $5.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's a pretty cool feature that they have.
I literally just saw this update in front of my eyes. Right. The Corbin Burns. So the plus EV, they actually have it on their app. I don't know if you guys can see literally on my screen, but there's a plus EV up in the top left. And it actually adjusts the more that players hit this. I'm assuming a lot of you guys from this live stream are actually taking advantage of this promo. Hence the reason why it's moving down. Yeah, it just moved down again, which is pretty cool to see. So really good promo. Like they're literally showing you a plus EV, whether it's actually accurate or not. You can actually confirm it between our 2 tools here.
Yep, for sure.
Actually gonna check ours.
Yeah. I was going to say too, I'm sure a lot of people get into sports betting due to the promos. Like obviously it's a marketing cost for the books. So they give out the free money but you could literally only bet promos I mean, especially if you have access to the sports books too, like FanDuel, DraftKings, there's so much free money. Like, so much easy money. Even if you just do the very obvious promos, get your money back, Dinger Tuesday on FanDuel. Like, and this isn't something obviously you need DGF or OddsJam to do. It's just like take the money at least. Like, even if you're not going to be a serious sports bettor, like I completely get it. It takes time, whatever. But like, easily can scrape a few $100 off these books, being pretty lazy about it too. I mean, that's how I really started getting into it. Right, started seeing these promos, and you're just like, are they really giving me $100 sign up for parlay play? Like, I don't even know if I'm going to bet on this platform, but I'll take $100 because why not? Same with Jock Market. I didn't realize there was value signed up. It's like, dang, $100, thanks. And the platforms, the platforms that suck, peace out. The platforms that are good, keep it.
Yeah. And you're not even mentioning, like, you're just mentioning the sign-on bonuses too. Like, we're talking about like the plus EV promos and stuff. There's so much opportunity here, regardless of, their minimums, their maximums for how much you can bet and all that stuff. Like, there's still money to be made. I mean, people don't take advantage of Taco Tuesday, and you can literally put $25 in every single one in the 5-flex. Like, hello.
I get so aggravated when I see somebody on Twitter be like, I'm fading the tacos.
They're idiots.
I'm not playing them. It's like, what are you doing? What are you saying?
I think I saw something on Twitter. Somebody's actually tracking the success on tacos. Yeah. I saw the success. It was like, I think it was like 73-ish% the last time I checked. TJ, I know that you were looking at it too, which again is freaking crazy. Like, if you see that and you're still not taking advantage, is stupid. But underneath that post where they were tracking it, there were people saying, see, the tacos are selling. Like, there's no reason I should take it. It's like you're literally looking at the success and then you're turning around and saying
they are tacos are 49-13 so far this year, hitting at a 79% clip.
There, 79. That's crazy. Yeah. So if you aren't taking advantage of these promos, like these discounts, because you're some kind of conspiracy theorist or whatever, you're an idiot. You just need to trust the market. Trust the market. 79% hit rate. What are you doing?
I mean, it's also just like, I feel like once I started doing the promos, probably like a lot of people, you realize like, damn, I can actually make money. These books are pretty dumb, right? And then once you start actually making money, then it's like, oh, there's actually more opportunity than I thought. I'm sure that's how most people started. Like, when I started out betting, it wasn't like, oh, 0 to 100, I'm just going to do this forever and I love sports betting. Like, it grows on you. It's kind of like, falling in love, and then you end up just like Matt, and you have a kid, and you're super boring, and you don't go out, and you go to bed at 8 p.m. So
that
was the most accurate depiction of Matt I've ever fucking heard. That was incredible.
Yeah, no,
can somebody record that, please, so I can play that?
I'm sure somebody's going to clip it from our Discord. That's for sure.
Clip that.
But yeah, I mean, like, start making some money, make your first 1,000, track it, and then, from there, it's just kind of like you're falling in love, just like Matt and his wife and his
just keeps going.
Daughter. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna mess with you a lot for this.
Yeah, I
early and stuff like that, man. It's
you will know this. I won't respond to you after like 8:30, and it's because I'm getting screamed at by not only my kid but by my wife too, because I was doing this all day. So,
dude, I still remember the funniest comment I've ever got on Twitter. It was especially funny. I think the guy meant for it to be an insult. It was something about some athlete getting married. I don't know. I commented on it, and the guy's like, you fucking idiot, you're not married, like, because you fucking suck. And I was just like, bro, I'm not married. I'm fucking 27. Keep that away from me for a few more years. No offense, Matt.
I got 3 years on you, so.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Who knows where you'll be in 3 years?
Matt, you old bag.
You'll probably be right back at the Lakers games, hopefully.
Hopefully.
We are coming up on 5:30 here. We've almost been going at it for an hour. I think generally that should be the length. No house advantage. The last time I checked, there wasn't too many.
Yeah.
But,
oh, really? I feel like they've been pretty good.
The promos were insane.
Always 5 picks with insurance. They're pretty good on our odds screen. If you go to the odds screen, I mean, I like the odds screen. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm hunting. And sometimes, no.
Your screen.
I find
Sports
pretty
picture.
good value. Yeah, NHL shot on goal. You can also find occasionally. So go to player rebounds. Sometimes you can find gems. Obviously, both of us, trying to work together on this. Like, what the f? Select whatever you want. I mean, I'd select a bunch. You can do select all.
Like them all.
Laggy. It just may
Right.
be laggy. I try to it's just too much data being processed because it updates and it'll update the lines when a sportsbook moves. It'll take a while if you select them all, but I do find pretty good stuff there sometimes. So you can see right there, what is that? Who's that? Oh, who's that 6.5? Oh, it looks like that's a sports book. But a lot of times I'll just line up the fantasy sites if I'm looking for the fantasy sites. I'll line up Jock Market, Underdog, Prize Picks, Thrive Fantasy, and just scan down real quickly player rebounds and just be like, where's the discrepancy? Especially because these fantasy sites tend to post odds before sports books. So a lot of times you can get good middles. I mean, you talked about, your tool is great amazing for the esports ones is you see the same thing in player rebounds, and nothing's better than hitting a middle. That's for sure.
We're getting a ton of DFS apps added to both sites here for specific markets. Like player free throws is another good one. Sometimes there's a full player free throw. I think Parlay Play has them now. First half points and I believe second half points. Those should be added as well. I don't believe the sports. TJ, we took a look at it, and I don't think they offer those markets. At least they show them in a different way. It's they show the second half total points on the books. Yeah, it's weird. But for these DFS apps, they show them from that point. So however many points they should get in the second half, which is great. Imagine if you can compare those two and the second half bet, there's a 4-point difference between two apps. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Right. 3-point attempts is another one, Matt. Prize Picks and Parlay Play. Like you mentioned, player free throws, big one. So there's definitely some good middling opportunities just between DFS apps.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy. A 4-point middle. Words from a married man. Craziest thing.
Yeah, this is what gets me excited at night. Unfortunately,
that's what gets him going these days.
That's what gets me going these days.
I'm done messing around.
But
those middling opportunities.
4-point middles get me out of bed. I agree. That's what I'm staying up for. That's what I'm living for, dude.
Minutes played too. That was a new one that was added. I believe that and some other random DFS site just added that. We're getting those out of player personal fouls. Imagine if you were to take advantage of personal fouls. Yeah, I mean, and I think the market's only going to add more, right? Obviously, the more data, the more stuff you can bet on. These apps are all going to add them. So,
right.
It's their number one focus. More markets.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to bet on the most random stuff. Everyone wants more selection. I literally feel like you go to FanDuel and it's just because we're always adding new markets to OddsJam, and it's just it's limitless. They're always adding stuff. They're always adding alternates, right? There's just so many. They want to it's like a Cheesecake Factory. If you've ever been to the Cheesecake Factory, they want everything you could possibly want to bet on. If they don't have it and someone else has it, the guy who wants to bet on ping pong will go to, DraftKings and not FanDuel. So they all have to add it. It's like a race to add 1 million markets.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and NHA is adding new ones every other day at this point. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they just added tennis. They just added, what was it, TJ? I think they're adding Call of Duty esports, which is the only, I think Prize Picks is the only one that has that right now. They're adding all kinds of stuff. So pretty exciting.
They just added MMA too. Yeah. They're doing a really good job adjusting. Yeah, for sure.
I also see them copy a lot of Prize Picks' projections. So that part's not fun, but it will be good when they get bumped, right? So imagine the Prize Picks line moves and then NHA, same thing with Parlay Play.
Same thing with Parlay Play. Exactly.
Also, look at this. I just pulled up the player free throws because we directly compare them to Underdog. They all match. So market's adjusting already.
Yeah, makes sense.
Was there value, pretty good stuff earlier today?
There was.
Lines have been out for a while at this point.
Yeah.
So for the Celtics game, at least, I feel like Prize Picks had lines up Sunday night, right after Game 7, right? Right after Mother's Day and TJ's mom all happy. Mom, I gotta go. Prize
Mom,
Picks.
I gotta get home. The board's out.
We
haven't had dinner yet. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's great.
I think in terms of value, though, I think we pretty much hit everything that we personally have, at least going on right now. Unless you guys want to talk about some other stuff. I mean,
Well, is there anything good? Any good plays? It looks like parlay play just constant blessing. I see a lot of plays on it right now.
Constant value in parlay play. And I feel like parlay play and jock market, there's constantly plus EV plays on their boards.
Yeah, jock market's great. I highly recommend. I'm not saying it's the coolest platform. It's a little annoying, but there are a lot of bets and you're going to make a lot of money. So, and it's fun. A lot of baseball value, which I like. I mean, I like taking unders in baseball. It just feels chill.
I love correlating baseball hitters now. That's like my favorite thing to do. I spit TJ paired. How many players did we try pairing at once? Because we didn't know how many you could. We tried like 4. They were all on the top, and we're just like 4 of them. Nope, you're not allowed to do that.
I mean, I saw so many on our fantasy optimizer, probably like yours, just so many. On like a lot for the Mariners. You could take Ty France under half of a run. I see that as one, and then I see Jose Caballero under half of a single, Tescor Hernandez under half of a single. Hopefully whoever's pitching against the Mariners balls out tonight. If baseball players ball out, they definitely don't. But hopefully. I actually saw a clip on Instagram today of that fat guy, the pitcher who threw, I think, a perfect game, and he was out with Jimmy Fallon the night before and was like blacked out and got an hour. Such an unathletic.
Who was that?
Some like fat guy who looks like Andy Reid, some baseball.
Aren't half the MLB players fat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not really the infielders, but fat. He's like some fat MLB player. He looks like Andy Reid, and he just like I don't know if it was like a game or a no hitter or something like that, but he just like balled out.
Are you talking about Bartolo Colon?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Bartolo Colon doesn't really look like Andy Reid, but he's fat, so.
It was David Wells.
Oh, David Wells.
Perfect game after partying all night with SNL cast. I don't know who would want to party with people from SNL, so he clearly has poor judgment. But hey, he can clearly throw the baseball. So
it's too funny. I mean, man, if Chris Farley wanted to party with me and I was around, or Chris Rock, I would have been down for that.
Any other plays out there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, nothing that we haven't already touched base on.
Is PrizePicks down for you guys? Is PrizePicks the site down?
I
wouldn't be surprised.
It did just kick me out.
Oh yeah.
PrizePicks is down for me. If you want to take Tatum rebounds, I also see if you go to the positive EV tool, it's plus EV on Fliff for the people who don't have parlay play or whatever platform it was on. Yeah, there's some good value on Fliff right now. I mean, not crazy, but there's always some. And Fliff is another book to drop early lines. They always miss the line movements. They're always slow to adjust to the market. And I've explained before, but it's kind of like, it's kind of like being a day trader if you could look at the prices at the end of the day, right? Like that's literally kind of a good, maybe different analogy for positive EV betting, right? It's like you can look at the stock market. Google's up $5 today. Go back 24 hours. You want to buy Google? Yeah, you want to buy Google, right? It's just like you consistently beat the market. You win long term. You get ripped off. You don't line shop. You'll never win.
Right.
That is a great analogy, actually. If you're not treating, if you guys are watching and you're not treating this like a stock market and buying based on, all these different price points, then you're doing it incorrectly. I say this time and time again. Like we talk about this every single time. But guys, like if you don't take anything away from these live streams, I would take away that point. You just the only way to beat the books at this point is to compare markets. I think it's like 99% of sports bettors are, not profitable long term. And then, however much of that 1% are people that actually observe the market like Alex and us. Like that's how you do it. So anyway, guys, super excited about this entire series going on with Alex. Obviously,
gotta get to cooking the salmon.
I gotta get to Wow, he's gonna do this every single live stream, isn't he?
I fucking love
He's
it.
living in my head.
I
He's gonna
love this.
Dad duty. Got to watch the kid for an hour.
Gotta go change some diapers.
Oh, man, damn!
Yeah.
I'm about to crack open a Bud Light. Have fun though.
I do that too. So that part doesn't change.
Yeah, but
That's how I get through the night.
It's different.
Anyway, I guess any last words before we sign off?
See you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys. We're going to be doing this around 4:30 every single time. Again, really enjoy everything. If you guys want to sign up for these tools, follow along every single day. Obviously, as you guys know, people who have watched us before, the best time to take advantage of value is not right now. It's in the middle of the night. It's when you wake up. Obviously, when lines are just posted to the books. Use code DGF_OddsJam for 30% off any annual subscription on both sites. Kid you not. So feel free to do that if you guys want to follow along. And again, we will see you tomorrow and every day going forward.
Heat in 4.
Cut the shit. Don't start.
Heat in 4, Lakers in 6, then Lakers in 5. That's how it's going down. Sorry, TJ.
Dreaming.
Sorry,
Keep
TJ.
dreaming.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you guys.